Hi, this is Catherine Rose. I'm with Board Game Geek. I'm sitting here with Gavin Brown from Roxley Games, and he's here to talk about Steampunk Rally.
Thank you. Just get right into it. Okay, so this is our Roxley Games title that's launching at Essen this year. It is a game for 2 to 8 players. Plays in 1 hour, regardless of the number of players playing the game. The game comes with 108 dice, and also features 16 inventors from the steampunk era. So
cool.
The theme of the game is Nikola Tesla. In around 1905, he challenged all the inventors of the world, the famous inventors of the world, to a race through the Swiss Alps to determine who is the greatest inventor of all time.
Because why not a race, right?
Totally. So Nikola Tesla, he challenged them to this race, and the inventors are going to be constructing and racing in steampunk contraptions of their own design.
To see who's the best inventor of them all, right?
Exactly. So what you have here, the game's played over a series of rounds, and when you start the game, you start off with a cockpit and a basic machine part card. So this is your cockpit, and then here's your machine part card.
They fit together very nicely.
Yeah, so you start out with a setup like that, and over the course of the game, your setup will eventually look something like this. Nikola Tesla's here, and as you're playing the game, there's 4 phases. In the first phase, you're drafting cards, so kind of like Seven Wonders style, and you're using those cards to add on to your machine, and you're also using them to collect cogs, which can be used to re-roll dice eventually.
And these are nice metal pieces.
Yeah, these are. This is the Kickstarter edition, which we're selling at the Essen Spiel. However, the retail version just comes with tile cogs, and so you're also collecting dice. So these are steam dice. This represents fire, heat energy, and this is electricity energy.
Okay.
So they represent 3 types of energy. So we collect these during the draft phase, and then during the race phase, we roll all the energy dice that we've collected, and we use these dice to activate various parts on our machine.
Okay, so you're placing them in these open spaces that we have here on the
Yeah, so you have different types of sockets on your machine parts.
So this will be steam parts.
Yes, that would be a steam part. So, for example, so this steam turbine takes a steam die. So if I had rolled a 6 steam die, I could place it in this slot, and you divide the total pips that you've placed. You can place multiple dice in a single activation. You activate the card the number of times depending on how many pips you receive. So this one takes 3.
So that means you could do it 2 times.
I can activate it 2 times, and I receive whatever rewards shown on here. So in this case, I would receive 1 movement. So I move my pawn 1 space. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of different sort of race effects that you receive. Yeah, for example, this is the blast pipe. This allows you to remove 3, because your dice are not automatically removed from your machine. This one would allow you to remove 3 dice from occupied slots.
So you can use it again sometime in the future.
Exactly. So as you're going, your invention, you have this little damage gauge here in your player area. Starts off at 0. As you go over terrain on the board, your structural integrity is lowering, and your machine is sort of rattling around, and there's stuff falling off. Exactly.
Right?
So after the race phase, it's the damage phase, and however far below 0 you are, so if you're at -2, you would have to lose 2 machine parts off your invention.
And -4, you'd lose 4.
Exactly. And there's different. There's a race effect called reinforce invention that allows you to gain structural integrity again. So there's about 30. There's about 36, I think, or more unique machine part cards, and there's a bunch of different boost cards. So the boost cards. Let me find one. here. So these are like special ability cards that you collect again during the draft phase, and you can save them in your area, your
And
play
then play
area,
them?
and then play them anytime you want, unless for some are only playable in a specific phase. But they allow you to boost forward, or occasionally some will allow you to screw with your opponents, kind of thing.
So how many players?
It supports 1 to 8 players in 60
1
minutes.
to 8, so you can do the solo version too.
Sorry.
2 to 8.
There are a couple people who've sort of played solo. You can play solo.
But it's a 2 to 8 player
Yeah, it's
game.
a 2 to 8 player game.
And how long does the game typically take to play?
It takes 60 minutes, regardless of the number of players.
Oh, wow,
Yes.
okay.
If you play 2 players, you could probably get it done in half hour to 45 minutes. Depending on your skill level, and that's because the game uses an innovative sort of simultaneous resolution for each phase. So
you don't have to sit and wait for everyone to do their...
Exactly. So the draft phase, obviously, we're all doing things simultaneously. The race phase, when we're activating our machine, everybody is placing dice and moving down the track at the same time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's Steampunk Rally.
Fantastic. From Roxley Games.